attended it, which you brought. Sure. That's critical. Yep. Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker, we're ready to proceed with the meeting.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call the meeting to order. It's 12:16. I want to skip the comment period and work sessions and go straight to oath of officers. How do you want to handle that?
I'm just going to read it and y'all just raise your right hand,
Okay,
okay? So everybody raise your right hand. Please stand up and raise your right hand. And then you're just going to say your name. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Brownsville, Cameron County of the State of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
I do.
And I'm going to read the statement of appointed officer. I
Calvin Walker.
do solemnly affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation thereof. So help me God. That's it.
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is election of officers. First item is chairman. Calvin Walker. There's a motion made and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Next item is the position of vice chair. Is there a motion? Is there a motion for vice chair?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. All right. Next item, public hearing number 1, 201 West Elizabeth Christian Science Church Site, District D4.
Just wait a minute,
Go
you have to approve the minutes.
Oh. Oh, okay. Approval of the minutes for May 10th, 2024.
So
Is there a
moved.
motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those
Aye.
opposed, motion passes. First item on the agenda, 201 West Elizabeth Street. Mr. Velez.
Thank you. As always, this is a reminder of the certified local government.
Is your microphone on?
Yes. We are a certified local government, so we have to rule ourselves with the criteria of Secretary of Interior Standards. Then the next slide shows the 10 principles of the Secretary of the Interior Standards. Building site and setting, that is always interesting. That is not recommending to relocate buildings, etc. More recommendations. The design must follow the UDC and building codes. More data regarding precisely demolition, because we have to review some of those today. As you can see, there's a lot of code there written, because it's certainly kind of I mean, this narrative is to try to avoid precisely the demolitions or relocations. Here in the loss of significance, one important thing that the HPC must do is to find that the owner has established the preponderance of evidence that the structure or property has undergone significant or irreversible changes, and these changes haven't done by himself. This is very important. applicants that have received an approval of a COA regarding demolition shall be permitted to receive a demolition permit without HPC action on demolition following the HPC's recommendation of a COA for new construction. Permits, and this is very, very extremely important, for demolition and construction may be issued simultaneously if requirements for new construction are met and the property owner provides financial proof of his ability to complete the project. The HPC may postpone the action of demolition up to 60 days once the application is considered complete. An application is considered complete when you have all the set of drawings and so it can be reviewed by the building division and they can approve or do certain kind of comments. And if a feasible alternative is not found within this 60 period, the HPC shall forward the request for demolition to the City Commission. These are the historic districts, starting with downtown, Railroad, West Brownsville, Los Hermanos, and Buena Vida. We are showing here what comprehends the historic district with all the boundaries. All those yellow points are low preservation priority rankings, the orange are medium, and the red are high. These are the two national historic districts that we have. One is the McNair area under the Brownsville Freight Depot warehouse, and this is the downtown area, the commercial downtown area where everything is now been happening. So the first property was the Christian Science Church site. They purchased the lot in 1924. It's at the corner of Second and Elizabeth Street. The house that was a bungalow style was demolished between 2011 and 2012. Here on the bottom part, you would see the Christian Science Church, yellow color because that's a frame building from 1926 to 1957. This is the corner. So they are proposing at this corner a food court. This is the detail. To the right, it would be located West Elizabeth Street, and to the left, the alley. So the parking is on the rear. They are going to fence the property in a way that could be preserved. The designer has already, and the owner has already agreed, they have already agreed to extend the fence from the front to the side because it's a corner lot. We are going to see a little bit more. This is the proposed restroom area. So what we suggest and they accept was a kind of Spanish colonial style for the little building of the restrooms. This is a display of the food trucks, the 6 food trucks. On the rear, the restroom, and on the back at all the parking area. This is the proposed fence and the entrance. So they are going to build this kind of fence over certain courses of brick, and that's going to also be towards the 2nd Street. And what we were saying is that towards the neighbor should be at least 5 feet because the setback, the minimum setback that the traditional neighborhood corridor district allows is a 5 feet setback. This is the proposed canopy. And these are some Spanish eclectic doors that we suggest to incorporate in the design just to provide a little character to the restrooms. So the staff recommendation is to approve the project. However, the COA will be signed under the following information. The Spanish eclectic doors have to be shown. They have already introduced them. Maybe the proposed canopies could be redesigned somewhat. It's less important, but at least if there was something that could achieve the rest of the design would be wonderful. And when we say that a rough iron, it's okay. Simply just put also a minimum 5 feet on the neighbor's lot line, so you have the whole area covered by this rough iron. The 2nd Street facing West Elizabeth Street and 5 feet to the northwest. And finally, well, the project has to comply with the UDC.
To be clear, this is a food truck park or a,
This is a
Food
food truck
court.
park. That's why we are only looking after the fences and the restroom that he has to build.
Can you go back to the elevation that was there? That's a proposed elevation, right?
As the proposed main elevation and the entrance to the restrooms, instead of windows, they are proposing kind of tiles.
Is the owner here, that clay tile, that they're gonna put will, to me, will make or break, that little detail. You know, if they get the synthetic paper-made clay tile, I think we'll kind of lose the detail of the building, whereas if they go to like Secrest Hall has leftovers, and they get some old original clay tile leftovers, that way you don't have to buy a whole pallet or something. They sell it by the piece. If they put some original clay tile there, I think it would,
Okay,
just offering that suggestion. I know we may not have any thing to do, but it may even save them money if they can just buy it by the piece.
could you open the public hearing so the property owner and the designer could address the comments of Mr. Bailly?
Yes, is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this project?
Well, after nothing.
Arnold? Well, you need to come up to the microphone.
Oh, hang on.
State your name, Arnold.
My name is Arnold Hinojosa. I'm a designer and I'm a builder. I love what I do. I'm my best at everything I do. I think this building is going to look very nice as it is. Definitely the food truck park is going to be a nice food truck park. We're looking forward to start this as soon as possible. My clients, they're very happy with the work, and they've been very patient because there's been so many comments from the city that I've taken care of. So I'm looking forward to getting it done. Thanks a lot.
The suggestion is to use authentic Spanish tile. Is that something you would be agreeable to?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Definitely.
Secret Hall in Arlington has it. You can just go around back and you pick up the pieces you want. Using those little elements will just make it look.
Okay. Is there a motion to close public hearing? Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Thank you, Mr. Hinojosa.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion made to approve staff recommendations. Is there a second?
With the comment of Fernando Bailly changing the material.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Next item, 7 East St. Francis Street. Larry Loff.
Oh, okay.
7 East St. Francis Street. Mr. Velez.
Okay.
Yeah, you can leave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this was the Villarreal property. They bought all the corner facing Palm Boulevard and also the rear 7 East Street. There are no buildings remaining here. The sample map shows how where the building naturally were all in frame, including that 2-story. Now, if you see the difference between 1930 and 1957, we have that in that period, the house, let us say, changed, but only the building material. Instead of being frame, it changed into stucco. So this comment is done because the design that you're going to see follows kind of exactly both materials. This is the front area. Okay. So they are introducing, to the left is the street. They are introducing the house facing the street with a little garden there, and then all the concrete driveway on the back. This is the floor plan. And these are the kind of elevations. So what the designer has done with good criteria is mix the hardy plank in some areas and the stucco, because that's the thing that you can see on the sample maps before. This is the rear and the sides with the single home windows and so. So this is kind of render, and what we are showing is more or less what you can find on historic duplexes all around Texas. You can see that in this case, for example, all the porch has been created by protruding the whole front area except the extreme, the side windows. The windows located to the side. And the other way is to do the classical two gables. This is Norham. So the building materials that they can use is any kind of historical siding there, or the artisan lab. We are taking a lot of care about the widths and exposures of the siding, so it could match the existing historical material, the wood frame, the wood siding that you may have there. So we are proposing 7.25 if they use fiber cement, and again 7.25 or 6.25 to show the siding, the minimum siding, or this kind that is the cedar. To give certain kind of accent, what we are proposing is that the doors could match the classical craftsman style that you can see here. And if any fence has to be built, should have to follow the kind of standards that we have, that is 42 inches of height directly to the dirt or over certain brick courses, or it can be also rough iron with the same conditions of height. So what we are recommending is to approve the project simply to comply with the UDC and IRC. This is a recommendation to the designer. The duplex will face southwest. That means that if you consider the historic photograph that we introduced with the protruded front porch, that would be, let us see, protect a little bit more from the sun of the afternoons, rather if it is not sufficiently protruded. So all what we are saying here is that maybe if that porch is 6 to 9 feet, maybe it will work better. It still has space on the back for the parking, so we don't feel that there's any problem to do so. The canopy that we are suggesting is preferably a front gable. They produce a horizontal gable on this front, but we have seen that the historical examples that we have here in the United States, let us say that the flat roof is used to be built when you have a side gable house, not a front gable. I said the exterior doors trying to match the Craftsman, and well, to introduce the drawing of the fences if they are going to use, if they are going to build the fences. Finally, the dark gray roof as it is usual.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this project? Protasio?
Yes,
Identify
good afternoon. My name is Protasio Guerra, the owner of the company Home and Commercial Designs that had the fortunate of participating in this design. My client, the owners and the builder could not be here, so I'm representing them. I think they're on family vacation. And, well, we're willing to comply with everything you recommend, and any changes that have to be made to the main elevation or the finishes out, we're willing to comply.
Anyone have any questions for Protasio? Public comment.
I don't know, on the front elevation, just maybe adding, like a ridge vent to the front, just like the other photo showed.
I'm sorry, like what?
To the front elevation, maybe just adding a vent like the other photos have, just adding like a ridge vent.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, just, That-
Right in the middle of the,
yeah, something like that. would
I don't
just
see a
give it-
problem.
Yeah,
Good idea.
small, doesn't cost it, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you
it's
see
like
that
a,
on the other.
yeah, like a square vent. I can add that, no problem.
Or a circle. Okay,
Gives a little ventilation to the attic and, that's fine.
It could even be covered, it's just.
Just for the looks.
It doesn't have to function, just for the look.
No problem.
any
Agree.
other questions? If not, is there a motion to close public hearing? Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Is
Thank
there a
you.
motion, to approve staff's recommendation?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is 1009 East Adams Hicks Livery Stable.
Yeah.
Mr. Velez.
So we are writing there a little history of the Hicks Library and so. Yeah, around the 1910s, it was bought by Cueto, who put here a kind of a garage and auto repairs and so. And later on, the owner went to the hands of the Samano family. So as you can see, this is a high and medium preservation priority ranking. Still has that contribution status. You would hear from the representative, Mr. Gonzalez, that will speak later. Here you have a kind of a sample map evolution of the building. You can see that the building appears in the 1914 for the very first time in pink, in brick. And the rear was always empty except on 1926. Suddenly there was built another brick addition to the rear. And then 1930 and 1957, the building still stayed in the same way. So, I forgot to put a current photograph of this. Sorry. So this is the demo proposed on the interior. This is only interior proposal. This is how the display, the layout would be shown. They are not going to touch any of the facade, any of the facades on the front and on number streets. These are only interior elevations of the area. By the way, it's an interesting detail because while the windows facing 10th Street are with arches on the exterior, on the interior, it's as is represented. It's a correct representation how those windows are right now. This is the wall that separates, this is the rear wall that separates the original building with the addition that was built later on. And the last one, the bottom area, is simply two kind of enclosed windows that face the other store that it's from another owner. I'm introducing here the part 2 of this proposal interior remodel, and you have a copy there, and you will see that they have explained here that they accept the storefront as it was built during COVID times, and you will hear the reasons provided by Mr. Gonzalez. Mainly is because the fire station is located in front, and the ground floor doesn't impact anything, the current work that they want, so they approve this subject to tax credits. So if you are so kind to open the public hearing, we will recommend to approve it because they are not going to touch any of the exterior.
Okay,
of
can
the
we go back to
building.
the floor plan, please?
Yep.
So.
This is the existing.
Go to the, is that the first floor?
This is the existing.
Okay, so there are two sets of 3 doors leading to the sidewalk, right? Okay, Is there anyone here to speak on behalf? Mr. Gonzalez?
Chairman, Commissioners, Juan said it's a library, Hicks. As you know, there was kind of a first phase of this building a couple of years ago. Obviously kind of the new storefront and a stabilization, put a new roof, kind of replaced all the windows and remodeled basically entirely the second floor. What's before you today is really kind of like that second phase. Now we have a use for the building. The building hasn't really had a viable tenant or a use, because it's so large. It's 12,000 square feet or more, 12,000, right, Jose? 12,000 on the bottom. By the way, that's Jose. He's the designer on the project. And so any design questions, please ask. He can come up, that way he can get used to talking. And so anyways, that first phase did not come without questions from the National Park Service. This is a tax credit project. And so, when I started working for Origo, it's one of the first things that I started to do is kind of unwind some of the comments that the National Park Service had. And one of those was that the storefront didn't necessarily mimic the original, one, and two, why wasn't the balcony established in the way that it used to be, which kind of like the old Vera building with the poles, the posts in the right of way, kind of the New Orleans style, whatever you call that. And so when we responded, we basically said, look, there's a fire station across the street. Obviously, the fire trucks have gotten larger through the years. The city doesn't technically allow the posts, so in order to build back the balcony, basically the storefront had to be beefed up structurally to support the steel coming down to allow for that balcony. That was really kind of the only way to do that balcony again. And so, as you can see in the letter, the National Park Service responded and they said it was minimally acceptable what was done, but still acceptable, given the extenuating circumstances around the building that had occurred. And so it's pretty black and white there. It's in the letter. They accepted it as is. They did require us to submit what it is that we're doing now as a second phase. And we've done that, or we're about to do that. And so I'm here for any questions.
How do you
We'll
plan to
say.
use the second floor?
The second floor will be part of the event business, right? It's a smaller event venue upstairs, or perhaps people that want to maybe rent the second floor while, for a private, while the party's going on downstairs, maybe there's something going on. We don't really know, but it's all part of the same business or tenant.
Okay, my concern is second floor, you only have apparently one exit, that front stairwell.
There is that one stairwell.
Is there a stairwell going up to the back?
Is there a stairwell in the back also? From the second floor?
Need to have exits at both ends of the building. The other thing is, I count 410 people capacity here, only 4 doors going out of the building. I just wonder if that's enough. I guess the fire department has to address that.
Yeah, I mean, we've submitted this to the fire department and they haven't come back with any of those questions.
Well, I would hope they would address that.
Yeah.
For the safety of the participants.
There's 1, 2, I mean, they are double doors and they're all pretty big. So they're not your standard 36. I think they're 42. And there's 1, 2, 3, I think 4 across the facade, right?
Yeah, 4 doors.
Yeah.
Not counting the door coming down from the second floor.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Gonzalez? No? Is there a motion to close public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Motion made and second. Who was that? Fernando? Okay. I think he beat you out. All right, motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion for staff recommendations? You move to approve? Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. You guys need to turn. Turn your mic.
Next item is 912.
Okay. Next item is 912 East Washington, the Cameron
Yes.
Hotel.
Yeah, there's a mistake in the agenda, it's Washington Street. So the Cameron Hotel was built by the Browns in 1928. It was designed by Stanley W. Bliss. And here was located the Valley Buick Company in the first floor, you know. It's a high preservation priority ranking. The property owners have applied for tax credits and they are following the process with them. I think that the designer is Megamorphosis. So you can see here the evolution of the building is located on the top, but you do not see anything because it's 1926. The building was built on 1928, so it appears in black and white in the 1930s Sanborn map and later on the 1957 Sanborn map. This is a recent photograph. This is the demo. The proposal floor, first floor, the demo on the second. The proposal, you can see that they respect the walls and so, and they simply redesign the interiors. And you can see here the same facade, the existing on the top, bottom, what it should look like. And again, existing and proposed on the bottom. This is the other elevation that faces the alley. I'm bringing to you this because the property owners are really following very, very good the process. So there was a doubt regarding a potential selective demo, and this is what we will want to see in all the projects here in Brownsville. It's a letter from Austin Lutz. By the way, he has left to work with the city of Austin, and he's answering me a question that I did to him regarding the impact of a potential selective demo that was going to be contrary to the review being done by the Texas Commission. And he said in the second paragraph, you can read there, it says, in the meantime, certain works such as selective demo and general repair can be undertaken by the owner if they wish to start the construction work. If they have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me to discuss. I appreciate the work you've been doing to this property, and the TSC looks forward to construction beginning. So that confirms that when you follow a correct process with the Texas Stock Commission and you have to amend certain kind of things, okay, they allow you to move forward with this kind of selective demo. Later on, we are going to see some kind of issues that we have with selective demos in Brownsville since we are signing it, and probably the policy has to be changed. So these are some buildings that have followed processes of grants, of Texas Historical Commission tax credits, and that they are right now willing to start to receive them. This is one, the Alamo is another one. The Coca-Cola building is another one. Fernandez Hydra, done by Chacon, also follow the rules. Some of the board members know very well, and he got everything approved. Hicks Library, we have seen that even with this minimally acceptable, whatever they are doing now the process and so to get the tax credits for the first floor. This is another building that has been also introduced to the Texas Historical Commission, the State National Bank by the CDCB. And for example, these were not reviewed by the Texas Star Commission, but this project exactly was introduced with all the drawings and everything, the Celedonio Garza, with the wall, including the walls and so.
I know it's not public hearing, but that actually got federal tax credits. Celedonio
Celedonio
got both.
okay, very good. So, very good. So this is a good job. I mean, thank you, Ramiro, all the project was developed, and you can see here, for example, the detail of the fence against the original building and so. We have here one that we hope that they will get also kind of a tax rates and so, because the process was slightly different. So the roof has to be, was to be built everything, and so now it's pending of certain kind of reviews on this map. And for example, in this building, and this is when we start with conflict with customers, we give a kind of a selective demo and also the removal of the canopy and the old signs and so. But then suddenly, I think that the owner get encouraged. He discovered all these kind of very important building features of the interior, but the owner, I think that was encouraged by himself, and he demolished, he removed the original doors, the doors that probably were fitted on the 60s or 70s there. That was not part of the original building, but in any case, I mean, this could be simply leave it there and do not remove until the Texas Star Commission was willing to go and move forward. Nice discoveries that the owner did was the First National Bank that you can see the logo and also the baluster on the top. So that's also, this was not approved by the COA. So in this case, it's a good work, but it's preferably to request and so rather than to find a surprise just in case. So we are approving the selective demo, and we are simply copying and pasting the comments of the Texas Star Commission, because from our point of view, is okay. If they were wanting to do the general repair so without impacting what is pending to be reviewed by the Texas Star Commission, we're really on behalf of this project, because the owners clearly follow the process, and we are very happy with it.
Okay.
You open the public hearing, the
Anyone
owners
want
are
to
here.
speak on behalf of this project? Please identify yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emmanuel Hernandez. I am the builder and also one of the owners of the Cameron Hotel. Yeah, we want to follow, all the guidelines, all the rules. There is a lot of funds that are going to help us, so we want to make sure that everything is done as we're told to do. And yeah, we're working with Jessie Miller from Megamorphosis. This is my wife. She's been in charge of all the paperwork. Ramiro as well, he's been helping as well. So everybody's been kind of helping us get through this monster of a project. And we're excited to get started.
Refresh my memory. Is your effort to retain the use as a hotel?
No, sir. We are planning to turn the second floor into 10 apartment complexes or 10 apartments. And the first floor is going to be used for commercial.
Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to close public hearing?
Well, I'm sorry. Just make sure for your tax credits, make sure you keep copies of your receipts.
Of all the receipts?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I will.
Okay, is there a motion to close public hearing?
Call me out.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve staff recommendation?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is 705 East 7th Street.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
wrong.
Science House.
Yeah, it's wrong. It should say 805 East 7th Street. Oh, sorry, I made two mistakes in items number 4 and 5. So this is the Jesus Science House. It was built on 1903. The item was tabled on May the 10th. So I'm writing there the history that we were able to research. Jesus Science was the father of Florencio, and Florencio was the one developing Toluca Ranch. The properties went later to the Fernandez family, but to a different Fernandez family, you know, so that are still in Toluca and so. And what it happened, if you remember what we did with the rear house, there was a change of owners in 1979, and we guess that that's when the rear house was built or relocated there. And there was another kind of rehab in this house also from the late 1970s. So the house is a medium preservation priority ranking, and it could have any kind of tax credit, tax exemptions, and so it properly rehab. You see here the evolution of the house. On the bottom left of the corner is the existing house. The other one to the right was burnt in 1919, so it changed into a brick house with the same layout. Exactly happened with the other half of the lot facing Madison Street. These are current views with the vinyl siding covering the original shiplap that you have there. The rear is really bad condition. And then you will see here all the wainscot, the bull eyes that are on the protruded area. There is clearly a different section of the house. The floor that is partially in good condition, others are has been lost because of the leaks. You see the Victorian fireplace there. Check out another detail of the house. The old ceiling roofs, and the modern one. Possibly how this house would look in the early on the 20th century. Providing some Queen Anne doors, and this is the renderings that Garcia is showing to keep the white and green house at the corner. Built here an open space, and on the rear a parking. We did also a SWOT analysis a long time ago, providing the kind of strengths and opportunities that the house could bring to any other owner, or even if it stays in place. This is an updated schedule of the properties of the owner. You can see that we demolished 4 properties in the recent past, and in yellow is the one that is requesting to be relocated or demolished. So I'm simply putting here again the code to show that it's not very easy to show a loss of significance. In this case, we know perfectly the history of the house and the matter regarding the permits to be pulled, that may be pulled at the same time. And that shows a kind of, okay, you finished completely the project that you have already shown on the renders. So then let us say that the time starts to count, really, you know. So with a complete project, then at least we can be in a very different phase, and also moving forward, even if you have to forward the item to the city commission. So with that in place, we show here the kind of demolition by neglect fines, and so we are here also reminding what is a complete, project. And so you can see there that the Heritage Officer action complete application must follow the proposed building elevations, the site plan, photographic and specifications. Right now we have only renders. And then the HPC action, and that's very important for you guys, is you can approve or deny within 35 days of the date of application determined to be completed. That is not the case right now. And without or with prejudice, I mean, if there's a lack of information or simply that the project doesn't follow the requests from the preservation office and so, and then failure to take action, what happened when that happens, you know? Here there are some recommendations from the Secretary of Interior Standards, how to rehab and so, and finally, reminding also that if you want to build parking lots, should have been shown on the corresponding drawings. So the staff recommendations are simply that we would recommend to table the item to buy a little bit more of time. And in the meantime, the owner would be able to simply develop also the drawings. I think that he has a good team, a good technical team to develop in 10 or 15 days. So then the decision could be held and taken on July or August.
Okay. Just for transparency to the members of the Heritage Council. At the last meeting, I suggested that we get together with Benito Garcia at the project site to discuss the issue with his house. Larry Loff and I met yesterday with him, and we asked him if he would be agreeable to us tabling this item for this meeting. He was agreeable to that. So Larry, want to make a motion?
I make a motion to table to allow us a little bit more time to work the details out of this.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, the next item is the bog at the corner of 9th and Elizabeth Street. I'm telling you there, guys, the story of this property. It was built in 1960 by Ferguson and Son, and they built up a called anodized aluminum canopy and storefront, and so that it was exactly the same one that the Colberts, very famous brand of those years, had in their stores located in Dallas. So this is a medium preservation priority ranking. You can see here that the sample map doesn't show anything on the top area of this half block, and not even in 1957, because the building was built in 1960. This is an old photograph that we were able to find in the Brownsville Herald of 1960, and you can see, even when it's very dark, you can see that the rhythm of the facade is 3 windows to the left, 3 windows to the right, and 2 windows to the 9th Street. And you would see that there's a little detail. If you see the right storefront, that is that the storefront is slightly protruded from the base. And you're going to see now, I'm reinforcing this comment, but you would see what I mean with the photographs. This is the current condition. So what happened is that it has been lost, the sides of the storefront, and naturally the one facing the 9th Street, but that golden aluminum is still original. Nevertheless, it has a lot of pieces that have gone in the past. The shell stone, they call Texas shell stone on the newspaper, still there. So these are some details that clearly evidence that that brick is not original, is simply protruding from the terrazzo baseboard. And that terrazzo baseboard is original from the time. So to the left and to the right, you see that that brick is just a fake, and there's nothing behind. Behind, I can tell you that there are only concrete blocks or cylinder blocks or whatever the heck you want to name it. This is the original door. You can see again that a lot of that frame is not in a very good condition, but my concern is that it's the original frame, you know. This is the original terrazzo. You can see how the nice detail of the baseboard that is kind of rounded when it meets the floor. And here we go with the details of the protruded storefront. Again, the detail of that baseboard of terrazzo very nicely. executed, you can see that, for example, the corner of that bottom area of the frame probably has been changed because it's a different piece and so, and even the window frames have been suffered a lot. Again, with this corner, still protruded because that hasn't changed. And this is a very interesting detail from the bottom area where you can see that nature is closed, so it worked like a drip molding. So all the rain can simply drop to the floor directly. In this next slides, what I'm showing is the glazing bars. They are in bad condition. For example, that one to the left, you can see here, that's not original at all. And to the right here, you can see that it's also something strange there. So the property owner wants to change all the storefront, and so we feel that maybe that could happen simply because the storefront, you see that it has been lost, part of it, practically 50% of the storefront has been lost. But what we are suggesting or we are recommending is if the owner was able to work with the Texas Stock Commission so he can receive directly the comments from the Texas Stock Commission and also protect this property to still remain as a medium preservation priority ranking, and simply maybe by explaining, hey, look, this is the current condition of the storefront. What I pretend is to change the whole storefront instead of keeping all this area and so it can match the new one with the old one and so instead of that, that's going to be very difficult. We build everything again and we keep the rhythm and the same conditions and the setback door and so on and so forth. But what we suggest is that the owner should have to go to the Texas Stock Commission, introduce, as we have seen with other projects, to the Texas Stock Commission what he pretends. We do feel that he probably could get a reasonable, approval because of this, or maybe they will tell to keep some parts or not. I don't know, but at least you guys would not take a kind of decision that could harm the preservation ranking of this property. So we are suggesting to table the item so he can follow the process, produce the corresponding drawings, and introduce probably to the Texas Stock Commission, also to find the tax credits and neatly the BCIC grants supported by the comments of the Texas Stock Commission.
Okay, is anyone here to speak on behalf of this project? Not, I'll entertain a motion to table.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Next item, Benito Flores site.
Okay, this is the 1214 East Harrison Street. This is the Benito Flores site. There was a house there. You are going to see here is the second on the 1926 is the second to the top. In the 1930 you can see also, and in the 1957 you can see also the second in the top. It's a frame house with a kind of front gable or porch there. So it's a wood frame. The owner of this site also owns this building. This is a brick building. So she wants to kind of mimic or do a kind of a similar building, paying a tribute to the old brick buildings of Brownsville. As you know, we used to follow the kind of, Sanborn maps for the building materials. So we somehow are consistent with what you applied. In any case, I want to bring you this. She has been working with this kind of design. That's not exactly the kind of building material that we find in the Sanborn map, but from a designing point of view, that's okay. Again, that's not consistent with what we have or you have already agreed in other meetings in the past. And the other possibilities, I mentioned to her, okay, this may happen, that the Historic Preservation Commission perhaps would say, no, we prefer a kind of siding or fiber cement house there, following the residential types and based on the Sanborn maps, what is being shown. So again, this is exactly a similar house as she's proposing, with all the protruded front gable as it is. This was the other one that I showed before. So this is the other design that she was proposing because she liked brick instead of putting the fiber cement on that lower area. She put brick, but as you can see, it's exactly the same design as I'm showing here. 2 windows in the center, then 2 doors and the 2 windows on the sides. This is exactly what she's doing here, and she was trying to still build something with brick. Okay, the columns could be in a different way. She was wanting this kind of flat roof that, as I said before, is not exactly what a front gable bungalow used to have, especially in a duplex. But these are the 2 alternatives that she was showing. A traditional brick building following those from Matamoros and Brownsville, or this other one. So my comments were, as always, the fiber cement with this kind of widths and so, Craftsman doors. And we were saying, okay, approve the project, but once the drawings show a parking on the back, the preferable option here would be the bungalow, but I'm showing you the brick because, well, at least is a good design of brick building. The canopy, if you were going through the bungalow type, should be a front gable at each door, or one covering the 2 doors as we have seen, and then typical things of single home windows and wood or fiber cement siding and dark gray. So it's up to you what you decide.
Okay, she is proposing a redesign of the facade.
She's proposing this model. As you know, we try to always follow the Sambor map. So it is a wood structure. We always try to get a wood structure. And so in this case, maybe it's a very, very particular case in which, because the other building is also brick, this is a much better design than the other one. And it matches what we were approving maybe 3 or 4 years ago for commercial buildings, because this is going to be an office. There are going to be 2 offices. Remember that this lot is located nearby the courtroom, the Cameron County courtroom.
Okay, this facade here, comparison with the other, which one is she recommending?
No, she wants this one.
What?
She wants this one, the brick building.
This one here?
Yes, painted in white, as she has done with this one. This one is a different design, but it's in brick. So she wants to mimic, but with this design that is similar to the old times design of Brownsville. It's in the empty lot, Calvin. Okay. So she owns this one and and this is the empty lot. Okay. So it's a new development.
You have a floor plan?
I have a floor plan that is very simple. The floor plan is like this.
Okay. But it doesn't show the building next door. Yeah.
No, well, this corresponds to the kind of bungalow type, but mainly the floor plan is exactly the same for the brick. The owner is here, so you may want to open the public hearing.
Okay, but on this plan here, you're showing the 4 columns across the front.
Yeah.
And on the elevation, you're saying that she wants to use doesn't have those columns.
Yeah, well,
I think
that should be, yeah, okay, that could be amended.
Huh?
That could be amended, yeah. There are 4 columns,
on the elevation.
and here are 5 columns, yeah. That could be perfectly amended, you know.
Okay, so this elevation right here, she is not proposing, is that correct?
No,
This one here.
no, she doesn't want this one.
Okay.
This was done because I insist on the bungalow
Okay,
type.
she doesn't want to do this one.
No, she wants to
Okay.
do this one.
Okay, but this one here doesn't show any columns in front.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine.
But on the floor plan, it does.
No, because the floor plan is the floor plan of the bungalow. And even so, it shows 4 columns instead of 5 as the elevation, okay? So
But it's
this
gonna
floor
be 2
plan,
open spaces.
this floor plan corresponds to this one, but unfortunately, the designer simply didn't put the 5 columns.
Well, even that drawing is wrong, because it shows 5 columns. The floor plan shows 4.
Yep.
All right.
He should have to amend those.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this project?
What?
Please identify yourself.
My name is Alma Ramos. I'm not too good speaking English, so can I speak Spanish? Okay, good. Es la primera vez que voy a construir algo aquí en el centro y estoy un poco nerviosa ahora ante ustedes. Mi primera propuesta es el edificio en ladrillo, debido a que el edificio que ya está enseguida, que ya está construido, también es ladrillo y me gustaría dar una continuidad a lo que ya está hecho. El señor Vélez me proponía una propuesta de madera en base a las casas residenciales ya existentes, solo que a mí me gustaría hacer de ladrillo debido a que me gustaría rentar esos locales comerciales para oficinas y me gustaría seguir también el diseño de la corte que está en la parte de atrás, el edificio que ya está existente en la esquina, la corte que también está a una cuadra de ellos, y es por eso que me gustaría tener este tipo de construcción.
Does anybody have any questions? Comments?
Para pintarlo blanco, el ladrillo pintar blanco, para mí como que no va con el otro edificio.
Ok,
Y también vas a perder el estilo del ladrillo. Si quieres, no sé si preferimos ladrillo o madera, pero si lo haces de madera, para mí se viera más como el edificio al lado y lo pintas blanco y se va a ver un poco más mejor
ok,
que pintar blanco. Pintar blanco no es pintar ladrillo no es algo
bonito.
sí.
Bonito.
Yeah,
No, pero puede ser el ladrillo blanco sin tener que pintarlo.
yeah, the idea was to try to match the existing building at the corner.
Ajá.
So that's the reason why she brought the brick building. And if she had to paint it in white, or if she has to choose a white brick, as she's saying, to do it. So, simply so it can be read somehow that the complex is now 2 lots instead of being 1,
A que yo pienso que tiene más valor y lo haces de madera, no de madera, pero
¿El ladrillo?
de cemento, no de las tablas.
Fibers. Y de hardy plank.
Sí, hardy plank.
Ok,
Para mí vas a dar más,
Más categoría.
más probabilidad que vas a atraer más clientes, más inclinos.
ok,
Que el ladrillo cuadrado, que no es histórico, no es moderno, no tiene su estilo.
ok.
Es uno o el otro.
Ajá.
Si lo haces de madera, todavía se va a ver como en mi opinión, se va a ver como el edificio al lado, lo puedes hacer con los mismos techos y todo, y se va a ver un poco más como de la época, y eso es lo que busca los inquilinos. En mi opinión, normalmente puedes rentar un poco más si se ve de la época. Opinión pero
Usted me dice que el primer diseño, en vez de que sea ladrillo, poner madera,
como yo prefería,
así como está ahorita.
es el que tiene todo de madera.
Ok,
So, and could it be like this one,
Sí,
you saying?
ok.
sí.
That's what's confusing. Yeah, to me.
Sí, o 4 columnas, no tiene que tener tantas columnas, pero lo más sencillo, y si lo quieres pintar y con los acabados al lado, no sé de los colores, pero se va a ver como si es, sí, como si es el otro edificio, pero
Pero de madera.
sí, no madera, no es madera, es cemento, que entonces no va a tener tanto como termitas, como los maderas de antes.
Ok,
Es un producto, los de cemento son productos que son buenos y más económicos también.
ok. Mi idea es porque yo tengo 2 guarderías de niños aquí en Brownsville y mi idea es hacer una renovación interna para poder hacer una guardería de niños. Y si en un futuro la guardería crece, poder hacer una continuidad de los 2 negocios, poder extender el negocio que ya está ahorita. Entonces, por eso quería que fuera más o menos igual para cuando, si existe la posibilidad de hacer un solo negocio, no se vieran diferentes los edificios.
She has a huge children's
Yeah.
uh,
Si lo haces
place in Boca
de
Chica,
madera
so
blanco y el
Mr.
techo
Ellis.
negro, se va a ver todo igual.
Can we go back to the picture, I'm sorry, can we go back to the picture of the building she's referring to? To the picture of the building next
existing.
door?
The
property.
existing.
That,
That one.
I believe that one.
So she owns a huge children's, care and so on Boca Chica or
I'm sorry?
where's your place?
I have two. I have one in the expressway and the other one in 802.
Kiddos Learning
Yeah, that
Center.
is huge. So she started to buy this one just to do exactly the same. So what she's saying is that by mimicking somehow this building, if at any time the office space she wants to readdress that new building by simply joining these two buildings would look like something that is similar.
El ladrillo no vas a decir estos dos edificios son iguales. Si los colores de la madera y será si los mismos elevación, el pitch del techo que se ve más parecido al otro, con eso se van a ver más parecidos.
Okay.
Y todavía se van a ver iguales y también si lo vas a rentar aparte algún día,
Ajá.
algún día la ganancia pasiva en el otro, mi opinión se va a ver mejor.
Okay.
No sé, a ver qué más opinan.
So from an historic point of view, the corners have been always used for commercial uses, so that allows kind of different shapes and so on, building materials. If we use the kind of sample maps, is to be kind of consistent, and so your comments will be aligned with the sample maps and with the typical thing that the Historic Preservation Commission used to vote. Now this case was kind of different, so it's up to you. What do you say?
Let's go back to the elevation that's more contemporary. Yeah, that one. Are the shutters, what are the shutters made out of? What material?
¿De qué material son?
Wood?
Mhm.
Do you intend for those shutters to close at night?
Yes.
Okay.
Pues me gusta esa elevación, nada más pintar el ladrillo,
Blanco.
vas a tener mantenimiento se va a echar a perder la pintura, no queda bien, te das muchos más problemas pintando ladrillo.
Sí, pues,
Mi idea era hacer el ladrillo blanco. Pinté el otro ladrillo porque era café. Y
se va a ver como no es histórico, como trataste si no llegaste. Como estabas tratando de hacer algo histórico, pero no es, I don't know,
Yeah.
how do you,
Like
miss the
whitening.
mark, it's like, yeah. Entonces, si vas a usar ladrillo blanco, mejor que no se vea histórico, que
Yeah.
la fachada no se vea histórico, ¿no? Porque se va a ver como un mal ejemplo de edificios históricos.
Okay, any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
Ladrillo está bien.
¿El ladrillo normal?
Sí, yo diré, si lo quieres ver histórico, que dejarlo natural.
El ladrillo natural.
Histórico. Si
No
quieres
tengo
ladrillo
problema.
blanco, hacer otro estilo.
No, está bien, no tengo problema porque sea ladrillo natural. That will be fine.
Dando opciones.
Ujú.
Okay, is there a motion to close public hearing? Is there a second? Second. Motion made, second, to close public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion passes. Is there a motion?
I think she was open to que,
El ladrillo natural.
con ladrillo natural,
Sí.
pues con ladrillo natural, I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye. And those opposed, motion passes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, the last item is 1100 to 1106 East Adams.
Yes. This is the San Fernando building, but it was the Victoriano Fernandez Furniture Store and Residence. So we are explaining there a little bit of the history that we discovered. It's in 1873, Martinez sold to Victoriano Fernandez the property, and then in 1895, they signed a mortgage for $3,000 when certain kind of changes happened to be. You can see that the historical drawings that we have been discussing to rehab the building was those that come from 1885 and 1894. So immediately after, you see that in 1906 has a different layout, especially on the top area of the building, cornered with the 11th Street. So maybe that was the reason why they requested a mortgage. And so these are more Sanborn maps. So the staff recommendations is to approve only the selected demo. This would be probably the last selected demo that really the Historic Preservation Office is going to recommend to approve, because we want to see precisely the whole project developed. But in this case, we are recommending the selected demo simply by stockpiling the building materials removed and be stored on the COB building. And then simply the contractor will claim all the building material needed to be reused. And naturally, the rest of the drawings should have to be finished as soon as possible to try to get the whole vision of the project.
Okay, is anyone here to speak on behalf of this project? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the selective demo.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Any other items, Mr. Velez? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
I never lack for a second. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Have a good weekend.
I was told.
You did a good job.
I'm not sure what we did on that.
What would we do without you?
That last one was a little interesting.
Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.